Okay, I just got done driving 26 hours one way to bring you this animal. Let's go. So what animal might I have driven 26 hours to come show you and talk about? Well, it's actually the very first animal that I had. Bunny rabbits. This cute little fluffy rodent right here. Okay, so I started out my homesteading adventures on a small quarter-acre lot in New Jersey. Very similar climate to Connecticut where I am right now. This was back before I had sheeps, cows, dairy animals, chickens, gardens, or anything to that nature. It was a residential lot in suburbia, very similar to what you see here. And I started my homesteading adventure. And I no longer have this animal anymore for a myriad of reasons, which I'll get into. But I gave one of my offspring many moons ago to my mother-in-law. This rabbit actually came from one of the very first litters that I ever had, and its genetics are still going strong. So why rabbits, and why a quarter-acre lot? Well, for a very small area, you can get a lot of meat. We had 5 rabbits, 4 females, and 1 male. And what I would do is I would breed 2 of the females at a time, and I would have a litter, well, 2 litters really, every month. And between that, my rabbits, I had New Zealand whites. They would have litters anywhere from 5 to 10. Typically, it'd be about 6-ish rabbits per litter. And you multiply that out, okay, so we'll say 6 rabbits times 2, we'll make it 5 rabbits for the sake of not doing public math. So there's 10 rabbits a month times 12, that's 120 rabbits a month. And of that 120, I'd grow them out to about 5-6 pounds, and I'd get about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of meat. So 2 pounds of meat, 120 rabbits, that's 240 pounds of meat per year from that little cute rodent right there. And the meat's actually quite delicious. It's similar to chicken, but with a little bit of a livery flavor to it. In addition to the meat, you have all of this lovely, wonderful stuff right there, which is rabbit poop. It makes a beautiful, wonderful fertilizer that you don't need to compost, and you can just throw it straight onto your plants, and the poop will break down and feed all that wonderful organic matter to the plants and make them green and vibrant and wonderful. Okay, so rabbits are pretty easy to maintain and take care of. As you can see, this one's eating some dried herbs and dried plants that were given to it a while ago. You can also easily feed them pellets. Yeah, rabbit. The pellets are really easy to come by at most feed stores, hardware stores, and they're relatively cheap. You can feed them grass when the grass is growing. I had one friend, he made a rabbit tractor. He mowed his grass with all of his grow out rabbits. Didn't feed him a dime in the summer. He just went out, moved his tractor every day. They ate the grass down, he'd move it again. When the yard was complete, he'd start back over from the beginning. They're really easy to take care of. They don't smell. They don't take up a lot of space, and you can produce a lot of meat with these animals. Okay, so if rabbits are so great, why don't I have them anymore? Well, before I get into that, I didn't drive 26 hours just to bring you rabbits. I wish I could say that I did, but really, I'm up here on vacation, visiting my in-laws, escaping the summer heat to a nice, cool Connecticut winter, or summer. Feels like winter to me, which is why I'm a little confused. And I'm shooting the rest of this video on a different day. It's evening time, kids are in bed, and I can relax a little bit and focus on you. So why don't I have rabbits anymore? Well, part of it is the reason why I'm up here. The heat in the south is extreme. It's hot. I'm not gonna lie. It gets hot in South Alabama in July and August, and it's humid. And rabbits, particularly New Zealand whites, don't really do all that well in the heat. So when I first moved to Alabama, my rabbits were older to begin with. They were 6-ish years, somewhere in that range, which is a long time for a breeder rabbit who's continually pumping out litters every other month. It wears on the body. So my rabbits were old. We were down to about 2 females to begin with when we moved down. And when we moved, it was just so hot. We tried to do a litter and it did not end up well. We lost all of the litters that we had, and we were lucky to keep the mamas alive as well. And there are ways you can mitigate the heat. You can put your animals in the shade. You can give them ice. I know a lot of people, they'll get 2-liter bottles of Coke, fill it with water, freeze it, turn it into a giant ice block, and they'll just put a new one of those in the pen with the rabbit every day. It keeps them cooler and helps mitigate some of that heat. And then when you are in the South, you don't have litters in the summer. You just omit the hottest parts of the year and you breed throughout the fall, the winter, and into the spring. And that mitigates the heat. But we moved to a bigger property. It was hot. We were getting into sheep and cows and all the larger ruminants, where you get a little bit more bang for your buck in terms of one sheep or one cow makes so much meat. It's a little more work, larger acreage. You can't do a sheep or a cow on a 1/4 acre. As much as I tried to convince my wife we could, she was right in saying my neighbors would have killed me when I lived on a 1/4 acre lot. So for us in our season, it wasn't rabbits just didn't really fit into the goals that we had for our hobby farm and our homestead. So we got rid of them. Will I get rabbits again? Probably. I love rabbits. They're an easy animal to take care of. You get a lot out of them. They're cute. The kids love them. They make great Easter pictures. And they are a really good animal if you're just starting out on a homestead, if you have small acreage, if you're just looking for something you can do in a small, compact area. Get 3 rabbits, 2 females and a male, and start making your own food. Start making your own fertilizer. Just enjoy a cute animal. We'll cut that part out. They're a good gateway animal into getting your feet wet, to where you can get production, small footprint, not a whole lot of smell, and they're just fun all around. I hope you like, subscribe, and stick around for more content like this. I'm going to get back to my cigar.